Welcome, I'm Meg. This is Maker Mornings with Meg on the Loven Stamps channel, and I have a project to share with you that is one of our features for this month. So the Country Bouquet stamp set, which has an adorable matching punch, is not just for Valentine's. So when you are thinking about this stamp set, remember that there are words here for friends and for you and just wanted to say and things like that, along with the Valentine's words. And of course you can pair this with greetings from any other stamp set to make what you want to make. That being said, the project that I'm going to show today is good for lots of possibilities. Oh, that's weird. There's like something spilled. Oh, I just opened a soda and there's something, it like, you know, when you open a soda, it pops and sprays. It got on my card. That's okay. We're going to make another one anyway, and maybe it'll dry just fine. So card layout today is very similar to the one that we did together on Tuesday, and it is the 3x4 DSP card layout. And I have that card to show you, and here it is. So what we're doing basically is we're going to start with that 3x4 sketch, so the sketch savers that I'm sharing in January. And that 3x4 sketch uses that DSP in the middle and then the cardstock on the edges. So we're going to do DSP card layout, but with a twist today. We are going to split that 3x4 panel and use it for two different things. And I have two cards to share with you. One featuring Country Bouquet, and then the second card featuring Thanks A Bunch, which is one of the Sale-A-Bration stamp sets. So two cards today. You can see things like peeking out of my stamp case there. All right. Hi, Angela. Hey, Trish. I'm going to go ahead and switch our camera over, and we are going to get started here. So, all right. So we have for our... So there we go. We have for our projects these pieces that are ready to go, and the since this is one of my January featured cards, the cutting sizes and all the details for this, if you like printable versions, are available for free as a PDF when you place an order and support my small business during the month of January of any size. If you want to just get the tutorials and purchase them with the cutting sizes and directions and so forth, you can also do that through my Etsy shop. And these tutorials will be posted soon, but there are other tutorials, many, that you might find that you like there. So link should be in the video description to the Loven Stamps Card Mart. All right, so we're starting with a half a sheet of petal pink cardstock. We have a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock, and then we have these coordinating papers here. These are from the Country Lane Floral Suite paper, and they are lots of, you know, cool ideas. Here are actually the set of papers that are chopped down to 6 by 6. These are 12 by 12 papers, including one that you can punch that matches the punch there. And then there are the backs of those same papers. Very pretty. Today's the last day to get your request in to sign up for my paper share. So if you're interested in getting all the DSPs from the mini catalog, they come like this with card bases and with the 6 by 6 samplers of the DSP. So this card that I'm sharing today is a great way to use that sampler or others. Hey, Tanya. I'm glad you like the shirt. Hey, Sue. And Deborah says something's not working today, but Deborah, you're going to have to give me more information. It seems like it's looking okay for other people. I'm sorry that notifications aren't working right now. I don't know if anybody has any insight, holler. So this is a 3 by 3 square here of designer series paper that I'm going to go ahead and stick down. And then I cut this one just 3 inches wide, but a teeny bit taller than 1 inch, just so I don't have to worry about things kind of overlapping. And you can do, of course, the strip at the bottom or the strip at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the strip at the bottom for this card because I like the way it gives like an anchor to the base of our card. But there's the other version that I'm going to show you uses the strip at the top, which is kind of fun because it is like a playful pun on the stamp set. So that one's still coming. All right, so I'm gonna pop some dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm not gonna add that back panel like we did on Tuesday for the 3x4 card, but really fun, simple. Here, I have now a piece of basic white cardstock because I want to give this a focal point. And then I have our cardstock that's gonna go inside our card. So let's go ahead and grab our stamps. So this is the floral here, where this is a 2-step stamp set. So we have the floral and the greenery. And we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stamp the floral first. Honestly, I don't think it matters too much on this particular image which one you stamp first and which one you stamp second. Just want to get a nice image here, and that mottled look is part of the way the stamp is made. It's got that pretty hashtag on it, that cross hatching that lets the ink come on in different layers, I guess, and applies different amount of ink, so you get a nice variety to your color. And let's see. Okay, I might have to get my face in here to see what's going on. There we go. The closer you get, the easier it is to see that that's lining up. And so there we have our greenery, okay? It's really pretty forgiving, and I'm gonna give you a tip about cutting this out. So I want to add this to our card, but I don't really want a big block on there. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take my scissors and I'm gonna cut, but I want this to be a little bit on the organic side. So I'm actually going to contour just a little bit around my flowers where the leaves like go in a little or the flowers go out a little, because I don't want it to look like I tried to cut a heart and I just wasn't perfect. So I'm going to just embrace that and go ahead and give it a little bit of waviness in contour with my design so that it looks like it was supposed to be that way. Does that make sense? I love leaving a little border of white around my cut images just to help that stand out. But there is our heart, and it's going to fit here. Now, I really like the contrast between the colored background and the white layer there on top. I had this and, put it on white. Actually, okay, that's really pretty too. I was having trouble coming up with different ideas. Here, I'll show you what I tried for this. I tried this one here, which is clearly not right. The petal pink cardstock didn't work on the background. And then I tried this one, and the red didn't quite go with this. That's Sweet Sorbet. And I actually also tried like a square to see how much that would cover up, and I thought it was too much. So all those choices came down to this version, which I really quite like. So, hey, Melissa, I'm glad you could make it. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and add to our card. We're going to add a greeting here. So I have a strip of basic white cardstock. And for all of these greetings on here, like I said, there's lots of possibilities. And of course, you can add from another stamp set. But I'm going to go with Just Wanted to Say and pop that on there. And then I'm going to trim that pretty tightly. Tightly, is that a word? Pretty closely. Probably it's a word. It just sounds a little weird for some reason. Okay, and then I want to take advantage of these leaves here because our card is very floral and we have this punch that matches. So why not use this? Hello from Illinois to you also, Margaret. All right, so I'm going to take our leaves here and go ahead and ink them up in Mossy Meadow one more time. And I'm going to actually give us 2 of these. Let's see, I have ink on my finger someplace. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch them out. And you can use little strips for this. This strip is pretty generously sized. Of course, you could get away with something much smaller. When you use the Stampin' Up! Punches, you always punch upside down so that you can see what you're doing. Just give it a little squeeze to hold the paper in place, and then use your other hand to just muscle down on it to get the rest of it cut there. All right, so here are apparently the leaves we're going to use. They volunteered by jumping onto my project already. And we're going to pop these, kind of a pair down there, I think, and 1 down here. All right, so there we have kind of our layout idea. Now for this, I'm going to give you kind of a tip here for easy adhering. I don't like to fuss a lot with attaching things. Oh, good. Sue says ly makes it an adverb, so tightly. Just sounds weird. And happy pre-Friday, Kelly. So good to see you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and stick this dimensional on. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna bring this leaf up to the same level here as our greeting. And then we're going to pop this down on here, which is going to make the other two leaves, the lower sort of layer there, the same as the heart. Does that make sense? So you can kind of see here how those pieces, there we go, come together to make that layered look, all right? And then our heart here is going to get layered on with some more dimensionals, because why not? Oops, almost put that in the middle of nowhere. And we're gonna pop this on kind of like so. All right, off to the side there, okay? And then our greeting is going to pop here. Now, it's a little bit crooked, so I am going to pull this back. Hey, Lisa, hey, Pam. Thanks, Pam, I'm glad you like it. So we're gonna pull this back up here and attach it with one more dimensional so that it's actually straight. And then we need to do a real quick stamp here for the inside of our card. We're gonna add the I love that we are friends, because I just think that that is a nice sentiment that you could send to a special friend, and then a little floral greeting with that. So that is going to pop into our card here. Like I said, this stamp set is definitely not just for Valentine's. You can use it for lots of things. Thinking of you, get well soon, all kinds of fun things. And then we're gonna add some bling to it. So for our bling, I've got the pastel adhesive back sequins, which are the selection that I'm featuring for the set this month. So you can look at my website at Loven Stamps and look at all the kit pieces, basically, or the sweet pieces. So what I do is for the card tutorials, for the Loven Stamps card tutorials each month, I pull together a set of supplies that are curated by me, and then I make 4 projects with them, so you know you'll be able to use your supplies to make great things. So these sequins are in that set is kind of what I'm trying to say there. So I'm gonna go ahead and snag a couple of these small sequins. I don't know where my take your big tool is, but I miss it. And then because there's 2 whole sheets in these sequins, big ones and little ones, I just put the other one on the back so that I can always reach in and grab what I want, of course, from the edge. And so there are our little sequin spray that kind of encourage the message, and then the inside of our card. I love that we're friends. All right, so that's the first card, but I have a whole other one to share with you. And this second card features the same layout, but the Thanks A Bunch stamp set. And I have a couple other cards to share with you that also use Thanks A Bunch, so you're gonna have lots and lots of great ideas this morning. So let's pull out the cardstock for this, and this may look familiar to some of you. If you're one of my stampers who got a card kit in the mail, then this might look very much like that card kit. And you might have recognized this layout already, because I do love it. So remember, it's a 3x4 DSP card. And on my blog, there's a whole category of 3x4 DSP cards that you can get ideas for. So you're never gonna run out of those. All right, so in the way of our 3x4 DSP card, I have, of course, the piece of cardstock here that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then the backings go on there, and we're gonna layer it onto the center of our card. And then this is the Dandy Designs Designer Series paper, which is the Sale-A-Bration version of the DSP. So it is located here in the back of this book. And it's one of the things that you can pick when you have a $100 order. So you can pick this paper for free. It's 48 sheets. That's why it's the $100 item, because it's a double pack of paper, and it is beautiful and so useful, and I have used a ton of it already. Now, if we look at a carrot has the carrot being the orange part and the leaves being the green part. So when we stamp our carrots, we're gonna have them pointed down. So I'm gonna put the orange part here, the mango, at the bottom, and then we are going to put the green at the top. So I'm basically flipping this upside down. So I have the 3-inch version at the bottom and the 1-inch piece at the top. So kind of a fun play on the carrots. All right, and we'll pop this on here. Did you get it? Haha. It kind of sits in the background of the card. So by the time we're done, it doesn't stand out quite as much, but I think you'll still see. All right, so now we need a place to put our carrots. Hey, Cindy. And I am going to pull these stamps in and the colors for this. So our colors for this are Granny Apple Green and Mango Melody to match. You could also use Parakeet Party, would be an excellent choice. And so I'm going to stamp some carrots. Let's see. Roxanne says she's been practicing her fussy cutting. Look at you. Way to go. I'm so glad that it's getting better. Yeah, it really sometimes just having the technique makes the big difference, right? Let's see. And if you're like, wait, Roxanne figured that out. Where did we talk about that? I don't remember. It's in a past video. We'll have to go back and figure it out. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp these carrots, and I'm going to stagger the height just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and do some of them super inked and some of them as a second stamp. So basically I've stamped once and twice without re-inking. Okay, so we have some fun variety there. And then I'm going to bring in my Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to stamp. Now this, I want the background to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper. This is from my heart earlier. And now I'm going to go ahead and stamp off on here. Does that make sense? So I don't want the dark green. I want it to be light. And I'm just going to put 3 of these darling little leaves on here because it's kind of like a lot of carrots and a handful of greens, okay? And then I'm going to use this second greenery here, and I'm going to use it full strength. But here's the problem. If I do this, do you see how the green line extends down way into the bottom of the carrot? I do not want that, okay? So there are a couple things you can do to avoid that. It just depends on how much you want to work. So I'm going to clean this off so that it's really clean, all right? And then I'm going to ink just at the edge. And with photopolymer stamps like this, it's really easy to see. So see how I'm just inking to that point? So now I can see where the top of my carrot is going to go, and it's going to stop right there, okay? So I'm going to do it again, about the same height. Okay, and then I'm going to do one last one here in the middle. Okay, all right, so there we have our bunch of carrots, and really pretty quick and simple. I've seen some super darling cards where people like cut out the carrots and so forth. There's lots and lots of possibilities. But this is a pretty simple, quick card. So now you can see how our designer series paper in the background mimics the part of our card that is in the front. And I'm gonna pop some Stampin' Dimensionals on here and stick our card, stick our layer down. I'm gonna kind of center it top to bottom. And then we're gonna add a greeting. So here is my greeting strip. And I'm gonna pull these off of here so that I can show you a tip on getting these lined up. So we have lots of choices, right? We have thanks a bunch, we have love you a bunch, everything's coming up carrots, har, har, har. Anyway, I love these, look at you, they're all cute. And so I'm going to go ahead and do thanks a bunch for this card, but I want to just go ahead and do them at the same time. So obviously, if I go like this, then they're really crooked. So what you want to do often is take a piece of grid paper. So here is my grid paper, handy from the last time I stamped yesterday. And I'm gonna line up my greeting here right on the grid line, okay? And I kind of want them, I don't really want it to be separated, so we're gonna put it there. I'm gonna line up the stamp right on there, and with photopolymer, it's pretty easy to see what you're doing. And then I'm gonna pick those up all at the same time with one block. So now I don't have to like stress if I was making more than one of these about like trying to get them in the right place all the time or anything like that. So let's just go ahead and ink this and see how we did. Thanks a bunch. Pretty good. I'll take it. All right, so there we have our greeting. So much easier to put those together on one block than to kind of split those out. So, all right, now let's see. I'm gonna trim the end of this, and I'm gonna trim the end of this, and then we're gonna add some embellishments here to our card too. So I love now that this is gonna stick out a little bit beyond the end of our paper because it just sort of draws those layers and those elements together. And let's go ahead and put a dimensional. I'm gonna put it under this part. so that it's sticking down to our card, like so. And remember, we're like remaking this version, same card layout, different colors, although I guess I did use a pink and a green, okay, they're related colors, but different colors, different stamp set. This one's pretty classy, this one's pretty funky, lots of possibilities, but we still need an embellishment for this. And I have here a piece of the linen thread. And when you get the linen thread, it comes on a roll that is super duper corkscrew spiral-y. And the it can kind of make it hard to tie bows. So my tip for that is to just take your fingernail and press it right into, so I'm pressing my fingernail into my first finger, and not hard, but just gently. You're just gonna trap that string there and pull it through. So that is going to flatten out those spirals. So that makes your linen thread so much easier if you weren't hoping for that corkscrew stuff. But we're gonna tie a bow I called tie a bow on nothing. So I'm just pinching here with my, let's move this out of the way, pinching here, and I'm going to go around, and then that loop that I just made, I'm gonna pass back through and have that, which is the beauty of video. So if you need to see that again, you can rewind it and watch it again. And then I always squish my little bow pieces down pretty short because I think that they look a little nicer that way. And then we're going to go ahead and tie this here over our carrot. Now, if you're wondering how I'm going to attach that, my favorite choice is actually the mini glue dots. And so I'm going to take one of these and just sort of roll it over like a little burrito. And then I'm going to pop it under the center of our bow like that. And now we have our little bow here stuck to our Thanks a Bunch card. So, okay. And then of course you could, I mean, why not add some sequins to it, right? Like they're here. Let's see. Let's do some small ones. It's so hard to make a card without bling, right, Sue? So I'm going to use the same kind of strategy here. I'm going to do 2 small ones down kind of here, and then 1 big one on the bottom side of our greeting to kind of pull that. Actually, now I'm going to put it around thanks. I want to emphasize our thanks word. So there we have our sequins there on our thanks, okay? Or I could have put it out here, kind of like I did on this one. Either way, whatever makes you happy. All right, let's see. Yep, Sue says a couple carrots for sparkle. Yep, there are all kinds of fun things that you could do to dress this up further. You could use Wink of Stella to make your carrots sparkle. You could use some glue and glitter to glitter them up. You could heat emboss them with clear embossing powder. Like really, there's no end to all the things. So, hey, Pamela. All right, so that is Thanks a Bunch with our sample, with our 3x4 DSP card, Country Bouquet with another 3x4 DSP card, and then from Tuesday, we had our Conversation Bubbles 3x4 card, so even more ideas there. I think you can see that I kind of like oranges. This is feeling like different. Okay, I will not use orange, maybe. I don't know, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say I won't use Mango Melody on our next card. How's that? I'll do my best. Okay, so I'm gonna pull you guys back up here. And that's not what I wanted. There we go. All right, so let's see. Oh, Debbie jumped in and said she'll watch the replay. Yep, that's the great thing about these, right? All right, so lots of fun ideas today for things from Sale-A-Bration and from the regular catalog. Remember that Sale-A-Bration is only 2 months this year, and so you have January and February, and they're going to go quickly. So if there are things from there that you want to add to your stamping collection, don't wait too long, because once they're gone, they're gone. Let's see. But Trish said, oh, so many colored carrots. I know, rainbow carrots are so trendy. So yeah, I can't wait to see some purple carrot cards. And Louise said she couldn't see how she'd ever use a carrot stamp set. You know, honestly, I have not to date sent any carrot cards probably in my life. Actually, that's not true. Around Easter, sometimes maybe, like for a kid card. But I am a sucker for a pun. And putting Thanks a Bunch on a card is just like that's just super fun. So I will definitely be using Thanks a Bunch a lot. And then the other things are kind of fun. Actually, the everything's coming at carrots is kind of cool. Like you could have, you could do look at you, which is up, oh, there it is. You could do look at you here, and then you could say everything's coming at carrots for like a graduation party or congrats or something like that. All kinds of ideas there. You could have, I mean, it looks like spring. I sometimes make cards just to send because I have a stamp set I love. It's like buying scrapbooking or going someplace just because you have scrapbooking paper about the zoo, then you go to the zoo. So I guess sending cards for no occasion just because I have a stamp set falls right in there, but it's perfectly okay. Everyone loves to get cards. Let's see. Lisa says that orange is her favorite color. Woohoo! I'm orange and purple. I go back and forth. I think orange is my favorite color, but then purple ends up showing up in all of my work and all of my wardrobe all the time. So you just never know there. Barbara says that she likes the layout. Thanks for the inspiration. You are very welcome. I hope that you'll find that super useful. 3x4 cards are just a really efficient way to cut your paper. Yay, Pamela, we're joining Lisa and Pamela and I are starting the Orange is My Favorite Color Club. So, and hey from Sussy in Denmark. Hi, hello in Denmark. It is great to see you. I was going to say this morning, but it's not morning for you. So it's good to see you this afternoon, I think. Time zones are kind of my kryptonite. So, all right. Well, everyone, I will be back on Tuesday with another Maker Morning with Meg. I will see if we cannot get Facebook to send notifications, but if not, I'm going to try starting events for the Maker Mornings with Meg videos, which are on 9:30 Central Time in the morning. And hopefully maybe if you RSVP for the events, you'll get notification when the video goes live. So in any case, thank you all for joining me this morning. And I appreciate hearing your comments and so forth, whether you're watching now or whether you're watching later. If you have any questions or you need any supplies, links are in the video description for all of those kinds of products that I have used today. So thanks, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Happy pre-Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back next week. Happy stamping.